everyone. How's everyone doing today? It's March 11th today, and we are going to be talking about some cryptocurrencies. So, I just want to talk about what's to be seen in the show today. So, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things that we've been noticing. And so, we're going to be talking a little bit about the petro from Venezuela, South Korea, and what they're doing in cryptocurrency. A little bit of why Japan closed down their exchanges for a month. What Egypt's been doing on the side, kind of going back to yesterday, as well as Russia considering early adopter rules being relaxed on cryptocurrency, people that are involved in cryptocurrency, fighting in the UFC for cryptocurrency, Plasma from Ethereum's creator Vitalik, and then IOTA and where they might be going, as well as some really cool futuristic thinking type of heaters, and last but not least, again about Korea. So I'll probably talk a little bit about Korea a little bit today, which is great, and I'll be going right into it. So without further ado, let's get started. How is everyone doing today? How are you doing, Steve? How are you doing, Fabian? It's nice to see everyone here in the morning. And so what I want to tell you guys is, I know right now the market is crap. Let's be honest. If you want to be honest, I'm going to be honest. The market sucks right now. Here's the thing. If you got into cryptocurrencies just so you could get rich quick, you've learned a very, very valuable lesson that it doesn't actually happen. I want you guys to feel confident and good about where you're at. We're early adopters. We're going to have ups, we're going to have downs. But as long as you guys hold and don't just give up on crypto, we're going to be fine. And I want to give you this pep talk because I know a lot of people have been messaging me saying, what do I do? What do I do? I'm stressed out. I feel like I don't know where I'm going. I'm losing all my money, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? I'm going to start the show off by telling you, you're going to be fine. Just give it a couple of months and we're going to be fine. I've been saying from the start that we must, 100%, we must be short-sighted for the losses. So have a short-sighted view of it. It's going to happen. We're going to be in a dip. Maybe we'll have a bear market for a few months. That's okay. What's awesome is that when we have a bear market, we usually have a bull market. So tomorrow I'm going to try and show you guys an image of what that looks like on the show, so you can see what I mean by that. Because yes, when things seem bad, they seem really, really bad, and it's easy to get scared and, you know, watch the exchanges, watch your Delta app go down and go, shit, I need to sell. So what you need to do now is just don't do anything crypto related. Don't sell crypto. Don't look at crypto. If you want, right now is a great time to buy crypto. Always buy the dip. Okay, remember that. Let's see who's watching. How's it going, Dal? Nice to see that you're here. So where's a good place to buy Bitcoin? Anywhere. Coinbase, OTC markets. You can buy Bitcoin literally anywhere. Any exchange that you can, you know, use in your country. It depends on where you are, obviously, Dal. But you can buy it very, very easily most places. How's it going, Tim? When everybody runs by. Okay, so I'll tell you a very good piece of advice that comes from a very famous person in the Rothschilds. And what he said was, when there's blood in the streets, that's when you buy. He said, even if it's your own blood. So what he's saying there is that when people are really scared, that's when you buy. And when people are really greedy, that's when you sell. So when you heard everybody from your shoe shine guy to everyone else telling you to buy Bitcoin, that was a time you should have thought, maybe I shouldn't be buying Bitcoin. But if you were buying Bitcoin when no one was really talking about Bitcoin, that's the time to buy Bitcoin. Or now, because we have a huge sell-off, when everyone's selling Bitcoin, that's when you buy it. So yes, Mt. Gox kind of screwed us all over again. If you were part of Mt. Gox originally, you would feel that exact same way. That Mt. Gox screwed you before. Well, right now, they're pretty much screwing you guys again. Here's the good news. There's actually really, really good news about this right now. And here's what I want to tell you about it. The good news is they've actually got bankruptcy protection that will not allow them to sell off any more Bitcoin in the exchanges, which means we're not going to see any more huge dips because of the Mt. Gox guys selling 10,000 at a time. That's really good news because none of us want to see that anymore. But they will be able to sell it on OTC market, which might end up getting some of that money back on exchange or in cold storage. But that's good because, you know, it's better than people just selling off massive amounts of sell-offs. It's just not good for the whole entire economy of Bitcoin. So knowing that, we're okay, we're going to be fine, and, you know, that's what's up. Here's what's interesting. If you guys are leaving comments, do let me know because sometimes I can't see them. I don't know why that happens. It's kind of frustrating, but let me know if that actually happens, and I'll try to fix that. Because I'm starting to notice that some people said they commented, and then, yeah. Oh, they're Fabian, so it is working. Great. Why do they sell and not hold? Here's the reason why people sell and not hold. It's a psychological thing. So why do people sell when they're in a loss? They sell when they're in a loss because they feel like if I sell now, then I'll put it in the next trade and make it back. But that's the same mentality as someone who's got a gambling addiction. Someone with a gambling addiction goes, well, yeah, I'm down $30,000, but if I bet $30,000 and win, I'll be back to even. And this is the type of mentality some people come into crypto because they don't get the market dips like crazy when it dips. So when you're scared, it's like, right? So that's the problem. Yeah, I like Paul. Yes, definitely. OTC is better because it doesn't affect the whole market. And auction to Tim Draper, definitely he'll buy it, man. That guy loves his Bitcoin. And now that you're saying it, I actually have something to say from Tim Draper. He said on March 10th, yesterday, that only cryptocurrencies will be used for payments in 5 years. I kind of believe that. For probably most payments in the world, it will be because everyone has a device. Everyone has a phone, right? Now, your phone in some countries are going to turn into actually your bank. So that's something you have to realize too, is a phone will turn into a bank. QR codes will be the way people pay. They're already doing that in China. Like there's food vendors in China that like have stands of food and they're saying scan your QR code for paying. So that's something that's happening with Alipay and other things. So I do see it coming to be mainstream. I don't think that he's wrong. And the thing about Draper is he called 10,000 Bitcoin last year and it went to 20. So he's pretty accurate because it's sticking around 10 right now. Is it 10 right now? I can't really see the ticker. My eyes are not that good. But we're around that age. And so during the internet age, he was saying that, you know, things kind of worked out that way. He bought 30,000 Bitcoin in 2014 for not that expensive, right? Like 2014, they were about $800 each. So he's done really well with them. But here's a cool thing about Tim Draper. On the 12th of April, he's going to be delivering a message to the entire world with a price prediction of Bitcoin. I think a lot of us are going to be listening to that because he's been pretty accurate. Even though he's not Cliff High also hasn't been that accurate this year. This year's been a really, I do believe bots are affecting the market. I do believe that because things are not as normal as before. Yeah, 96. Yeah, I can't see the tickers, guys, just because they show up really small, and my screen, because I have transitions, they don't show up as big as you guys can see it. So that's why. Nobody can see the tickers. Thank you, Lewis. I will definitely 100% make sure that we can fix that up. I do like your comments and your feedback, okay? A question came in from someone that said, if you're still profiting in this market and sell a good chunk, but keep the rest in because you think it might dip more, which you can then buy more later if it keeps dropping? Yes, absolutely. So if you sold at profit, you never sold at a loss. Who cares? If you're at profit right now with Litecoin and you're only a couple $1,000s of profit, there's no problem with taking it and then reinvesting your profit into another coin. But if you owned Litecoin and it's at half of its value from its all-time high, it might not be a good time to sell it. So it's a really strategic thing. I can't tell you. I'm not your financial advisor, remember. So that's the thing. And I will keep working on that for you guys. So yes, the tickers will be better. I promise. Thank you though. We're going to make them, if they're this big right now, we're going to make them this big. I think you'll be able to see them then. But you just won't get to see as much of me, and I hope you're okay with that. All right, so here we go. let's continue on. So I got a couple other things to talk about. So let's get right into Venezuela. So the Venezuelan president claims that Petro has pre-saled $5 billion. Now, you might ask, how the hell did they do that? Well, they're forcing people to do that. That's the thing that a lot of people aren't realizing. They're actually forcing people into that. So it's not the same as other things. And so knowing that, we can work on making it better, of course, right? So $5 billion, 186,000 people purchasing it, according to the news Telesur. And during the meeting, Maduro, the president, explained that money raised from cryptocurrencies pre-sale will be used to service everything their country needs, okay? And it's going to be part of a wider economic solution for them. I think that's great. That's awesome. And it's awesome for many reasons, because seeing that Venezuela is a very, not a poor country, but a country that's been not treated that well because of how they actually, you know what, let me take that back. They're sanctioned. So they've done really wrong stuff in the past. And so this is why Americans, if you guys try to invest, you can get yourself into hot water. So be very careful, please, because I don't want to see any of my friends get in trouble. It's bad investment if you're an American. And if you buy a sanctioned token, you're actually breaking the law and you can go to jail. So make sure that you do not buy the Petro if you're an American. And honestly, I wouldn't buy it myself, and I'm Canadian. I wouldn't buy it just because I don't really know where it's going. I think it's a cool project, but I want to see where it's going first. That's one of those ones that's a riskier move if you're not in Venezuela. But I think that over time, they're going to be really awesome at it. How's it going, Hal? How you doing, brother? How's it going, Glenn? How you doing, brother? Hope everything's all good in the world. Thank you for funding my account. All right, here we go. Let's continue on. So what we know is that it's got a lot of controversy, the Petro, and now they're coming out with Petro Gold, one that's going to be a second cryptocurrency that they're going to be releasing in Venezuela, and that will be releasing next week. Now, I think it's really cool that they are backed by gold, and they're backed by metal, and they're backed by oil. That's really cool, but at the same time, I don't know. A lot of people say that it's illegal and unconstitutional in that country. So this is why I stay away from stuff like that, because I don't want to be supporting something that may not be the right kind of thing to support, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's my thinking on that. Let's continue on. Let's start talking about South Korea, because South Korea has some good news for all of you guys. Yay, good news. Woo. I like telling you guys good news because it's really hard to find it in a bull or in a bear market. Sorry. And if you've never heard what a bull and bear market, as an educator, I should be teaching this. So let me teach you what a bull and bear market is. A bull market is what we saw right before we had this huge dip. Okay. So bull market, it seems like all the charts are just doing this. They just keep going up and up and up and up. And sometimes they go parabolic, which just basically means it goes like this, up, like almost a straight line. So that's what a bull market is. When I say a bear market, it means that things are always going downward. So if we're starting a chart here, right? If we're going like this, it's a bull market. It keeps going up. If it goes like this, we're in a bull market. It keeps going up. But if it goes like this, it keeps coming down, that's a bear market. So when I say that, that's what I mean. So right now we're in a bear market because we kept going down, up and down, up and down, up and down. We're in a sideways movement now. We're kind of like going up a bit, going down a bit, going up a bit. We'll usually see something like when we go sideways a little bit for a while, we usually see an upward tick. We'll just have to wait and see. I can't tell you for sure. So back to the news. What do I think of TrackCoin? I don't know much about TrackCoin, Jeff, but I will look into TrackCoin. Let me just write that down, because I always do take in consideration what you guys want me to know about. And now I have a team of people trying to help me with the research on these. So TrackCoin is a new one that I will put on my list. Take a look at. So thanks. All right, so let's continue on to South Korea. So two things in I lived in South Korea for 2 years, and this is huge news. Number one, Kakao Talk. If any of you guys have ever lived in Korea, Kakao Talk is huge. It's basically the main messaging app of all people in South Korea. If you live in other parts of Asia, it could be Line or WeChat in China. But for Korea, this is Kakao Talk. Now they're going to integrate cryptocurrency for 12,000 merchants and millions of users in the country. Do you think that's a good thing? Because I sure do. I think it's awesome. I used to use Kakao every single day when I lived over there. Koreans, we all know, love cryptocurrency, so we can only see good positive things leading forward into that. So last year, we saw that Kakao Talk had added in Kakao Pay, Kakao Taxi, Kakao other things. Now we see that with Upbit, they're going to be having more and more people wanting crypto as a part of it, and local investors have focused on Kakao Talk to be the main paying system, so it makes sense for them to integrate it into cryptocurrency. Also in South Korea, when we talk about adoption of the market, we talk about mass adoption, right? Mass adoption means that many people on average in a country or in the world are using that service. So for example, it took 9 years for us to go from cash to credit and debit. That was mass adoption. It took 9 years for us to get to the top of that. So some countries lead it and some countries follow. So you would see that stuff like Korea is going into mass adoption. They're getting to the point where they can push it forward very quickly and very precisely. So I really do like this, and I do think it's a really big growth step. We also have Line, who is the other major, I show you my phone, I'll show you my Line Messenger. Everyone uses Line in Asia. That's huge as well, because then Line and Kakao Talk will be both using it. And I'm sure WeChat, once China figures that what they want to do out, will be another one on there. So it's going to be huge. And this episode is really about telling you around the world what's going on with crypto, because there's a lot of stuff from different parts of the world that I'm going to talk about. So increasing adoption, very good thing. Now, another piece of news that came out of Korea today was that Korea's largest crypto exchange, Bithumb, is going to be supplying crypto kiosks to restaurants and different places like mall, shopping courts, and all that stuff. So basically, what they're going to be able to do is they're going to create a thing called TouchBee. It's going to be like what you see in McDonald's now, and some of them are other automated touch screen type of deals. That's what it's going to be. So you're going to touch the screen, you're going to click, yeah, I want to pay with crypto, and you're going to pay from scanning your phone or going into your exchange. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, but I know this is something they're going to be doing. Okay, I'm trying to find out still how exactly it will work, but I will get that. So the kiosks will be offered 10% less than the going rate as a way to help their businesses grow. So they're actually, like we've been telling you with Litecoin, they're going to give discounts and all that stuff because Litecoin will pay them. So this is what we're going to start moving towards. Okay. So the supply kiosks optimized for small businesses. So that they're kind of trying to get the regular everyday people to use crypto, and guess what that creates? Mass adoption. So you think Korea is the first one? It's not. It's going to be not the first one. It's going to be Japan and other countries in Asia, and then Canada, United States, Europe, everywhere will be doing this, because once it's simplified, it's going to be amazing. The stuff that we're going to do with just, you won't need a wallet ever again. Imagine not having an actual wallet, just having a wallet on your phone, right? A crypto wallet. That would be freaking awesome. I would love that. So they're gonna have like touch screens, and you just go up to it. You might have a card that works. It might be through your phone and NFC tap pay, but you'll load up onto the kiosk what you have to pay, and it will spit out a token, and you can go a token or a piece of paper, and you go over to the group or the place that you want to buy, and you just give it to them. Like in Japan, they have the vending machines, right? So in Japan, when you go there, you can like put money into a vending machine and then give it to the person. They give you your food. So similar style, but with using crypto as your payment method. So that's pretty cool. So at the beginning of this month, Australian crypto exchange bitcoin.com/au also combined cryptocurrencies and small businesses that would create a system that would allow 1,200 newsstands across Australia to sell crypto through iPad minis. So you can see all these countries are doing little things at a time to get to the mass adoption. Now you got to remember one major piece. One major piece, okay, is that Coinbase and America and governments are trying to slow down the pace of mass adoption. And they're doing that because they know if everyone in the world tomorrow bought Bitcoin and cryptos and no one was using fiat all of a sudden, everything would kind of crumble right before us. They have to have systems in place to let the mass adoption come in a way that actually is positive. So if we don't have that, that's going to become a huge problem, and they've realized that. So they've tried to make it slow down. This is also why it takes so long to get registered, to get on crypto exchanges, because that's just kind of how it works. So I want you guys to know that, because it's important. I think that's something important to know. And the more we do that, the better off. The more we can get little simple things in there, we're going to be so golden so let me just kind of have a question. Okay. What do I think of TrackCoin? Thoughts on Electroneum? So my thoughts on Electroneum are this. People are mining the shite out of it, okay? Illegally. So what do I think about it? I think it's a cool project, but I don't know if that's the best project, if that makes sense. So, I've read about it. I think it's got a cool use case, but I don't like that you can mine it on your phone, and I don't like that people can hack your phone and mine it for you. And so that's kind of the issue I have with the security behind that platform right now, but it will come. Which coin will they use in South Korea? Back to us. Well, in South Korea, they're going to use pretty much any of the main coins on that exchange. So Bithumb Exchange will use any of them. So it could be Ethereum, it could be Bitcoin Cash, it could be Litecoin, it could be other things. But generally, people will they're going to use Litecoin because Litecoin is the cheapest transaction and it's the easiest use case. And also, they get paid to use Litecoin as a vendor. That's kind of the benefit of it. They don't have to pay to have Visa card like Visa card does. They actually get paid, so it's great. Yeah. So once Kakao Pay integrates things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the other Kakao apps will be compatible, and that's exactly where we're going. So imagine how much we're going to get out of these platforms and these things once they're actually easily accessible and easy to use. That's what I love about it. So continuing on to Japan, this is a little bit of another thing from yesterday, but I like going around the world a bit because I think it's good to look at all around the world what we're going and where we're trying to push towards. So the two exchanges that got shut down are FSHO and BitStation for 1 month starting today. Now they got a 1 month exchange, 5 other exchanges, Tech Bureau, GMO Coin, Mr. Exchange, Bitcrements, as well as CoinCheck, the exchange at the center of the recent $500 million heist, sparked the ongoing probe into these agencies. So all these 7 exchanges have to improve their security, or basically they are going to get shut down for good. How awesome is that? So when we talk about regulation and people say it's so bad, is it so bad? I had someone I was talking to, my buddy, Junk. He was saying yesterday, he said, I don't see how a decentralized exchange will ever be safe. And I was like, why? It's great. And he's like, no, because if something happens like happened on Binance, there'll be no one overseeing it to stop the trades from happening. And he said, as long as there's an API function inside of any exchange that's decentralized, we might see problems there because they're decentralized exchanges. So, hey, David Moorfield asks, thoughts on T-Bags? Well, let me just tell you guys about T-Bag Coin, just for him. T-Bag Coin is a novelty coin that has been created so that you can virtually teabag your friends. This is kind of comedy, but it's really actually a coin that's out there. I own 1 million of them. I'm a whale teabag holder. Now, if any of you guys ever want a teabag, just let me know. I'll send you one. But what I do think is really cool is the fact that my buddy David just wanted to learn how to make his own coin, and I think it's hilarious. I think anyone who wants to teabag their friends virtually and think it's a really funny joke, you should look into it. It's cool. You guys could always do it. Yes, Paul, seriously, no joke. David Moorfield, the one who just messaged how my thoughts on T-Bags, he actually created a coin called T-Bags. And I think novelty coins will have value in the future because it's kind of funny. It's a joke coin, right? You pay like 30 cents or 25 cents for one or something along those lines, and you can just send your friend a few T-Bags and make it a joke. It may be fun. Just for fun. Come on. OCN, another one I'll write down. I don't have any thoughts on it right now. Haven't looked at that coin since it pretty much came out. So we need a teabag giveaway on Crypto Wars. We do. You know what? We can do that. I'm gonna talk to Steve. Right. I'm gonna write that down, man. I'm gonna talk to Steve about the teabag giveaway. I like it. You guys like it? I'm curious if you guys like that idea. It's pretty funny to me. Anyways, let's continue on. So, Japan is starting to regulate their exchanges, and as much as people say they don't like regulation, as I was saying last night, regulation is not the same as centralization. They're not one and the same. So remember that regulation just means someone's watching over us to make sure we don't get screwed over. So ICOs that are bad, regulation's great. Coins that are bad, that will screw you, like BitConnect, regulation is great. USI Tech, regulation's great. Why? Because it forces them to be legal. And if they're legal and they do it the right way, we can't get screwed over. Because remember, the average person out there is the one who gets screwed over in these scams, not rich people. They won't even look at that. But average people get screwed over from scams and things like this happening and forgetting to take their coins off the exchange, etc. Rich people have cold storage wallets and their stuff is so far deep off the exchange you never find it. They do that on purpose. So just keep that in your mind when you're doing stuff and you're worried about regulation, that it isn't all bad. It's probably a lot more good than bad. All right, so let's see. Next time, do more research of Venezuela talking live. Also, painful. Next time, do more research about Venezuela before talking live. What do you mean by that? I don't give a damn about your friend's joke coin. Well, I'm sorry, Fiona. I was just trying to make some funny stuff going on, and if you don't like it, it's okay. We just like having some fun sometimes too. If you don't like it, we don't have to talk about it. OCN has big potential, but I can't remember exactly what it is because there's only so much time in a day, and 1,500 coins is really hard to remember. Now what I can do is look up all into detail about these coins and then give you guys a report about them. So now that I've pissed off Fiona, I'm sorry about that. What I will tell you is this. Number one, do more research about Venezuela. I don't need to. I don't need to do any more research about Venezuela. I have no problem with the country at all. I do know that it's a sanctioned country because of some really horrific stuff that's happened there in the past. And I do know about Venezuela having their own coins, and I said that there are good things about the coins, but at the same time you can get in jail, you can land in jail for it. So that's the problem. And yes, Venezuela has printed out so much money that it's like Germany after World War I, it's worthless. So he had to make a cryptocurrency, and that's just basically how it is. So, you know, I can't make everyone happy, but I wouldn't like to offend anyone, and I hope you're not offended, Fiona, even if you're here anymore. Anyways, let's continue on. Moving forward. Again, I want to talk about the Egyptian government. So this is another thing that's really messed up. The Egyptian government has actually been mining cryptocurrencies on their citizens' device. So the government is actually the one doing it, not anyone else. So that's what's really interesting is when we see the government doing something this messed up, we start going, wow, why are they doing it? Well, simple as this. Someone asked about how I feel about Electronium, and I believe that's the coin that they're actually using to mine. That's what I was telling you yesterday. So it's really malicious, this type of spyware and things that they're doing, but they're doing it to their own citizens, and it's going to benefit their country. So is it so horrible that they're using it? I still think absolutely yes. It is so Egypt, right? Oh, Paul, are you reading my mind, bro? That's awesome. So yes, it's very Egyptian. But the thing is, you know, Egypt, if you don't know anything about their history, like lately they've been having a really, really rough go. It's almost like the end of Mesopotamia, man. It's been pretty bad over there, and people are hurting. So if their government can try to help them out by mining on their own devices so that they have money for services, I mean, I don't think it's ethical, but I think I understand where they're coming from, if that makes sense. My friend worked in Egypt, and he said that it was really hard. Like, some people live a really hard life over there. So I do feel for them. I'm an educator, and I care about people. And, Even though I upset Fiona, I still care that I upset Fiona because I was trying to joke around, have some fun. But hey, like I said, you can't make everyone happy. So I didn't mean to offend anyone, and I never do. It just can happen sometimes. All right, so Egyptians. So I've talked about Korea, I've talked about Venezuela, I've talked about Japan, I've talked about Egypt. Now let's talk about Russia. We're not going around the world, right? I told you I'm going to bring on a trip around the world today. So in Russia, they're actually starting to get a little bit more relaxed on how they're going to deal with the early adopters of crypto. And their plan is to regulate cryptocurrencies and initial coin offerings to lead the first draft of the federal law on digital financial assets, which I think is good. Regulation will help build the future for crypto, because someone has to watch over us. Someone has to make sure we're not getting scammed. And with decentralized, completely unregulated, it's not good. Decentralized, regulated is what we all really technically want, as long as the regulation isn't too too much. It's not like you put your hands up and the cop shoots you anyway type of regulation, right? It should be like, you've done something wrong, you should say sorry type of regulation, or you're doing something wrong, you're going to jail type of regulation, so that people don't do stupid stuff. And absolutely, I agree with Adam. Putin's not an idiot. The guy obviously was a former KGB, and so the thing about Putin is he understands how crime even works to a better level, a better, very, very good understanding of how crime works. So in Russia, they're going, you know what? We're going to regulate the shit out of this stuff so no one gets scammed because he cares about his citizens. This is Vladimir Putin, who said he would bomb the whole country of Syria if they tried to screw with his country. That's how much he cares about his people. Probably a little bit too much if you ask me that. But like Joey's saying, as long as the regulatory side is it's not corrupt, of course. But here's the thing. They have no reason to be corrupt, because it would be easier when everything's on the blockchain for people to be exposed for being corrupt or scammers or liars, because it'll show up. It'll be easy to track because everything will have a record. That's the thing about it. Remember, blockchain's a giant ledger. It's like all the notes that you have, but never ever being able to burn them. That's what blockchain is. So anything you do on it will be recorded. And if you screw around, it'll be recorded. And you try to break the law, it will be recorded. Even if they can't see it on the top side, they'll find it through the layers of going through it. So that's great. I don't have any problem with that. Some of you guys are like hardcore libertarians, like, no, regulation is horrible. But you're going to realize after you get scammed once or hacked once or anything like that, that it is a good thing to have it. And a decentralized exchange, if it's hacked like Ether Delta, you're screwed. They got your private keys. What are you going to do? You're done. Can't do anything. So that's the thing about, you have to think about decentralized exchanges is how are they going to protect you if they're not regulated, right? So think about that, because a decentralized exchange, if that Binance hack happened on any let's say Binance was decentralized, there wouldn't have been a system in place to cut off all the bots from buying, and basically there wouldn't have been a system in place for them to lock those hackers' accounts. There wouldn't be a system in place where Binance could actually end up stealing all the coins from those hackers, which is exactly what they did. So pretty cool stuff, but that's because it's regulated. Okay, so that's the difference. I'm going to keep saying this over and over again because I want people to understand what I mean by that. So, what Russia's plan is to basically make cryptocurrency and blockchain very important in their country, but find a way to regulate it and have some legislation by the middle of the year so that they can actually not fall too far behind in terms of digital currency. So they're not stupid. They're actually creating crypto tools so that they can actually roll it out in Russia. So what I think is going to happen is Russia, when they roll it out, will be well set up and won't have exchange crashes and stuff like we had with Coinbase, right? Things won't crash, which means they'll be set up for X amount of users to use it versus we only set up for this many, not thinking mass adoption would come so fast. So that's some of the good stuff. So almost done today. Want to tell you just a couple more pieces of news and I'll let you guys go because I want to, keep it at a certain rate. Try to not make it too long today. So Dash's Jeff Smith explained today how cryptocurrency could be the future of fighter compensation. So looking at the future, he said You know, McDonald became a representative of Dash. So this is a Canadian guy from British Columbia. He went and fought. He's a member of Dash, and now, if he wins the world title, when he won the world title, he was wearing a world title Dash hat, Dash T-shirt, Dash shorts. It's a non-normal sponsorship. He got 320 Dash at the time, which worth $250,000 for winning his fight. So you're gonna see sponsorships starting to happen more and more, and it's just super cool how they're gonna do it. And I think you guys should look more into that one if you like MMA style fighting. Yes, absolutely. So regulated by private entity, not a government. I agree. That's what I'm talking about here. You're gonna bring this back around to China. Some real blockchain powered Big Brother shit cooking here. Yeah, there is. You guys gotta realize something. This is something really important to realize, that what we're about to see in the next 2 to 3 years is everyone going to start using crypto. If you're in now and it's down, buy more. I'm telling you, you're going to regret not having more in a year from now, in 2 years from now, in 3 years from now, because it's going to be the norm. So yeah, we had a run up and now we've gone down again, but we're going to have another run up soon enough. We'll be in the trillions by the time the end of this year comes. So realize that if you invest now and we go to trillions at the end of the year, you've already made 2 or 3 times what you have right now. And so we're going to be good. Just make sure you're doing the proper FA and TA into the stuff that you're looking into, so you get a really good background knowledge of the coin and the project, so you feel comfortable with it and you hold it. I have coins that are minus $1,000 right now because I bought before the dip, and I'm not even worried about it. I'm like, cool, whatever. My wife is like, what do you mean, whatever? I'm like, I'm not worried about it. I believe in these projects. I know the team. I know what they're trying to create. I know what they've created already, and I'm fine with it. So that's what you guys should be like. Be confident in your research. Be confident in what you understand, and don't let weekends make you forget that. It's easy when you see money going down to get nervous and your heart rate goes up. You're like, oh crap. I was there. I've been there too. You just gotta suppress that emotion, right? Okay, couple more things. I may actually save some of these for tomorrow because I think we're going a little bit long. So what I'm going to do is end on a really, really cool article that I found today that maybe some of you guys didn't find yourself, because I dug a little bit deeper for this one. So let me end on something really, really cool. So a French company, Cournot, has revealed a new space heater that can mine ether while keeping your house warm. It's called the QC-1, and it uses 2 AMD graphics cards that could mine nearly $120 worth of ETH per month. Sound pretty cool, right? Basically free heating. Awesome. Computers get hot sometimes to the point they overheat and then they shut down. So French startup Cournot started taking advantage of what the most of us remains an inconvenient side effect, is they're selling cryptocurrency heaters that actually warm your home. So imagine now you have a crypto heater that's making you money and actually giving you free electricity. Pretty kick-ass if you'd ask me. 120 bucks is an average bill for most people for electric. So basically, having free heat and free electricity. Can't hate on that at all. So basically, they're taking a problem and making it a solution. Absolutely ingenious. I love this company, guys. So the QC-1 crypto heater looks like a black radiator adorned with a grill and wooden top. So basically it has an RX 580 with 8 gigs of RAM and a Sapphire Nitro. So if you do know about mining, it's basically gonna look like, you know those old space heaters that are on the wall? You know humidifiers, guys? Those humidifier units? It'll be like one that's on the wall and it will heat your house. It's just amazing. I think it's just so cool. So yeah. Oh yes, the overall market cap to the bubble. I could talk about that tomorrow, Adam, for sure. And I want everyone to understand that even if the market cap shows 380 billion, it's not actually that much money that people put in. Okay? If people bought 100,000 ADA at 0.1 cents, then obviously the market cap for ADA is not actually 5 billion. It's what people perceive the worth to be. So keep that in mind. Perceived worth is how the market cap works. Just want to keep that point in there. So That's pretty much your crypto news for tonight. There's a couple things I want to talk about tomorrow. One of them being how IOTA's co-founder is optimistic for their cryptocurrency's future. I also want to talk about bringing on my friend Jay Edry, who works at Ubisoft, to talk about IOTA as well as Tangle technology, because he uses it at Ubisoft to create video games. So that'll be a really cool interview to have. As well, tomorrow I'm going to talk about Plasma. So basically, I can give you a really good overview so you can do some research into that right now. But Plasma basically is the solution for the Ethereum blockchain. It was created by Buterin and Bitcoin Lightning Network creator Joseph Poon last year as a scaling solution for Ethereum, because as we know, their blockchain gets overloaded and it doesn't work properly. So what Plasma will do is actually save a lot of that issue. But another one of the things that I want to just kind of end on is this. He said that it's just one simple way to make Plasma more scalable and vastly reduce its usage requirements for regular users. So basically, Plasma will make it impossible for people to lose coins or money when they get hacked, and any exchange gets hacked. Because hopefully, the next multi-million-dollar exchange written by a total incompetent developer gets hacked. No one's going to lose money. And so what it will do is kind of put everything, it's like a third side chain, basically what it is. And you put the money there and then it does the exchange for you and goes back there. So it's really hard for them to hack you. And I'll go more deeply into it because I don't think we have much more time for tonight. So I'm going to end here. It's 10:46, been 40 minutes. So thank you all for coming on and watching. Tomorrow I'll be back at 10 o'clock p.m. Same time, Bangkok time. It will be 10 a.m. New York time or something like that. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you have any questions, as you know, always can inbox me or send me a message or comment. I will see you guys tomorrow night. If you have missed the show, please do watch it later. It's fine. You can watch it anytime you like. And please share it with your friends because everyone needs to know about crypto. Everyone needs to learn. And I thank you all for watching from the bottom of my heart. I love doing this for you guys. I don't make money for it, even if you think I do. So it's really for me to help you guys out. And I really appreciate you watching. And if you can, just so that it will help, you know, the movement move faster and people learn more quickly from an actual educator, please share this video with anyone you think might actually find it useful. And if you don't like Teabag Coin, that's okay. You don't have to like Teabag Coin. It's just a joke my friend made to see how to actually make an Ethereum coin. And I guess people got thrown off a little bit by that. And I'm sorry to anyone who didn't like it. Okay, well, you guys have a great night, and I will see you all tomorrow. Mr. Joel, your cryptocurrency educator, signing out. Have a good one, everyone.